Hi, this is Mika, and welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about things that are craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, the craft, and everything else in between. Did I say the craft twice? I don't know. Today's topic, which is why I'm in the kitchen, is kitchen witchery. I actually want to do more on this topic, but I sort of just wanted to have an intro into it. If I look down, that's because I'm looking at my handy dandy notes here. Of video topics, so I have bullet points so I can stay on task. And my new challenge, which is to drink 2 of these a day. If I drink 1, I'm a good person. If I drink 2, I'm a superhero. So there we go. This is a real thing. I got to get more water. Water is essential. It's the most legit magic potion ever, right? All right, so I just want to start off with talking about me a little bit. I refer to myself as a cottage witch, which to me is all encompassing. It's a little bit of the hedge witch, a little bit of the kitchen witch, a little bit of the traditional witches, a little bit of everything. I could just say eclectic witch, which I also would call myself, but I like cottage witch. Do I have to name myself? No, I enjoy doing so, and I encourage others because it's fun. The other thing is, I just want to start off with, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because of the type of situation that I have, the type of marriage that I have, where we still take very traditional roles, regardless of not being, I guess, religious. I don't follow any sort of Christian faith or any sort of faith, the Abrahamic faiths or anything like that. So, those are more known to be the ones that are more traditional. But we are traditional, so. And because of that, I get to step fully into my cottage witchery. I get to experience it all and act it out every day. For me, it's common. It's not a question of how do I do this, it's when am I going to do this, or what spin am I going to put on it. I don't have a thing of, oh, is it the full moon, I didn't do anything. I know even if I'm laying in a bed, I'm doing magic. Even if it's before I go to sleep, I'm doing magic. I know that the day before, the day after, whatever I do, it's still, within that full moon time frame to still receive the energy. I think it's 3 days up and 3 days back that they say. But anyway, the point is I have time. Now, because I have time, I try to be prepared so I don't miss full moons, new moons, and things like that. But sometimes life happens, right? The point is I have time, and it's a luxury that not a lot of people have, and I understand that. So a lot of things maybe I'm sharing might seem like, I don't have time to think about that or do those sort of things. And that's okay. Maybe you just take a little bit of it and do that. So there's that. I just want to I lived a pretty charmed life. I'm very grateful for the life that I have this alone time. I can make videos in the middle of the day. I can have a challenge to just drink water, and I can go to the bathroom 50 million times because of the water without having to explain to a supervisor or a boss about what I'm doing. So trust me, I'm very grateful, because there was a time I did have to, get permission to pee, and that wasn't a fun thing. A lot of part of my working life, I had to get permission to pee as an adult. So trust me, I'm very grateful, very grateful. So that's that. Kitchen witchery. You can find videos, you can read books, maybe blog posts, Pinterest for sure. You can find a lot of things about kitchen witchery. So I'm just going to kind of give my take on the subject. So kitchen witchery to me is super powerful, because when you take in the essence of something, when it digests, that's so powerful. Whether it's potions, whether it's actually a meal, just garnish herbs, whatever it is that you're making. Even what I'm going to say, smell goods, air fresheners for your house, things like that. You can make those in the kitchen, potpourri, things of that nature. It's very ancient, if you really think about it. Because, most likely, the stove over here, the stove, the oven, fire, that represents fire, and the cauldron. So there's a lot of ancient wisdom that's been passed down that a lot of us do. You sprinkle salt over your left shoulder. If you drop something, you some people have a little saying they say before they pick it up to bless it. There's just old little things and we take it for granted and think it's, oh, that's funny, that's cute that we always do that. But those are ancient, it's coming from ancient wisdom from our ancestors. And I think there's some stuff that's just in our DNA, whether we realize we're doing it or not. Having a favorite burner. I don't think it's just a psychological thing. I think there's a reason we have a favorite burner on the stove. Not just because maybe it works the best. You can have a brand new stove, but somehow that's the favorite burner. You have a favorite spatula, you have a favorite tool. If you are one of those people, and there's lots of adults who are like that, guess what? That's great, especially if you're in a kitchen witchery, because that favorite burner, that favorite tool becomes your witchy tool in the kitchen. And it works on your command. It works on your power, on your energy. So that's one thing to think about. But again, ancient knowledge has been passed down via the kitchen, you know? So many things. I mean, and when I mean ancient, I'm not even, let's just say historical knowledge. Being in the kitchen with my grandmother, the energy that would come from her for preparing large meals. If you've ever been in the kitchen with a bunch of women and, you know, you have multiple generations and they're cooking, the conversations, they're solving problems, the complexity of the situation. Some people can't cook and, you know, watch how they treat them. And, you know, it's just, it is a study in watching magic because it's alchemy. They're creating all these things out of a few simple ingredients. It's a beautiful thing to watch and it's entertaining, but it's also a wonderful thing to watch. So let's talk about the difference between just cooking and cooking with magical intent. One more step. I got to get it in. We all know how to just cook, even if you don't, you know how to put something in the microwave and heat it up. You didn't think much about it. You might even not even be thinking, or you're looking at your phone. You're not even connected. So, or you're cooking, but you're thinking about 50 million things. You're not really focused. You're on autopilot. You just know you're hungry. So that's just your cooking, right? Or even if you're carefully chopping and you're following a recipe exactly, but you're just tuned into the instructions and what you're doing and the method, you kind of just empty out. That's cooking. Which is very relaxing for some people. I know my husband feels that way. He loves just mindlessly chopping and doing that sort of stuff. It relaxes him. Now, cooking with intent sounds just like what I said, cooking with intent. So it starts when you wash your hands, for me anyway. It starts when I wash my hands. I'm already thinking in my mind, okay, I'm not just physically washing my hands for germs. I'm washing my hands. And as the debris or whatever comes off my hands, so does any negative energy. So does any anything unwanted, any obstacles, any issues to keep me from carrying out this working. That's step one. You know, so I start with just washing hands. Then, you know, I'm assuming most likely I got to chop something, onions, garlic, something or other. Garlic always represents protection in my mind, so does onion. So I do in my mind, I'm already blessing the onion and the garlic and infusing it with protective energy to protect because I'm most likely feeding my family or myself. That it delivers protection over our health, over our well-being, over our physical well-being. So I start with that. So each step, each thing I do, and I don't spend a lot of time. I don't want you to think I'm, you know, praying over my onion and my garlic. This is active. I'm actively, you know, thinking these things, sometimes saying it out loud as I'm chopping. As everything comes together, you know, let's say I'm making a soup or some sort of stew or something where, I got to put everything in a you know, pot together and I stir it. I may speak over the pot, something along the lines of, get a message on my phone, something over the lines of, you know, so mote it be, you know, whatever, I'll finish it off because it's all, you know, kind of melding together, all the things that I've said for each ingredient. So at that point to me, it's like, you know, and so it is done, you know, something along those lines. So it's intent. So I'm putting my intentions into the cooking as I go. And that's the simplicity of kitchen witchery. A lot of people think you have to have this huge, you know, row of herbs and a huge garden, which is awesome if you have that, by the way. But if you don't have that, and you just have, just regular cooking herbs you got from the supermarket, that's okay. Work with that. Definitely work with it. You just bless those herbs. If you didn't bless them and you just have a regular cabinet full of herbs, like maybe me, that's why I do it as I go, because I pull them out, and as I pull it out, I know rosemary is for this, or I burn lemons for that. You know what I mean? So let me brighten their day. Let me open their eyes to, whatever it is. Especially I do this with my husband and my daughter when she's here, and my son when he was here as well. If we have people over and I'm feeding them, it's always going to be for peace, for harmony, for everybody to get along, that sort of stuff. So that's cooking with intent. That's pretty much how, at least that's how I go about it. You can do a lot more steps, and you can jazz it up even more so, but just the bare bones, which to me, kitchen witchery is very simple and bare. If you add more embellishments, that's awesome. But for me, I keep it simple, because that way I can keep it consistent. That way I can do it all the time. It's second nature, which it is for me. Kitchen witchery goes beyond just cooking. When I first heard about kitchen witchery, I thought it was just cooking. So, I like to eat. And sometimes I like to cook. Now, I like to cook. So, it's gardening, as I mentioned before. Gardening is definitely part of kitchen witchery. Cleaning. Cleaning is part of kitchen witchery. Now, hopefully you can see how. A lot of ingredients that you put together for cleaning products, natural cleaning products, are going to come from your kitchen, vinegar, things like that. It's magical tools. Remember I talked about the favorite spatula, the favorite knife, the favorite cutting board, that becomes your magical cutting board, and your magical knife that you only use for when you're cooking and doing, maybe only when you're doing some sort of working on a specific meal or with a specific herb, you use that special knife. And then I'm just going to say potions, okay? And kind of take that out the cooking category, because you don't have to necessarily cook anything. You're kind of putting ingredients together. Your smoothie in the morning is a potion, if you want it to be. So there's that. But no, everything from canning to, that sort of stuff. As far as potions are concerned, if you, make your own tinctures and things of that nature, definitely. Because there doesn't have to me, cooking involves heat. So I'm excluding that aspect of it. And, yeah, let me see if there was anything else I kind of wanted to touch on, because I just wanted to give a general overview first about kitchen witchery. In the next video, which hopefully next week, I should be in my new kitchen, which is going to be really cool. And I'd like to actually put some kitchen witchery on video. Maybe make something simple and step by step show you what I mean, and how I go about, putting a spell into a dish or something like that. And I'm looking forward to that new kitchen, so I can't wait to use it. And it's so pretty, so I can't wait to film it. But thanks for watching. That's just kind of my intro into this topic. I plan on doing a little bit more under the same umbrella, since I talked about these things. Gardening, container gardening. I'm in Arizona. There's no grass where I'm going. There's a cobblestone, no grass. So it's ripe for container gardening. So when I get that going, which I don't understand the planting seasons here yet. I'm gonna research that before I jump right in, but I'm gonna start planting some stuff. I can't wait to just have a bunch of pots everywhere, pretty pots, but my front porch, and then my cobblestone backyard, no grass. Cleaning products, I just talked about that, so I'll make some cleaning products as well. Potions, definitely making some potions. Might have to order some items online, certain herbs and things like that, if I don't see anything here that I like, because I definitely want to get into some tinctures and things like that, especially with fall season coming up. Just want to have that kind of stuff on hand, for the inevitable flu season that seems to be a thing now. So my magical healing potions, we'll call it that. We'll think of a name later, but you get the point. And let me see, magical tools, finally. Yeah, so definitely don't mind sharing how I would go about enchanting a specific tool to be used by me for a specific reason, only when I'm, designating it for that energy or, something along those lines. So there's that as well. So stay tuned. I'll always title them Kitchen Witchery and, the subtext of whatever else the video is about. So stay tuned. I just need to move into the new kitchen, and once I do, I'm off and running. Thanks for watching, and watch more videos. All right, bye-bye.